OK, now we're joined on the programme by Eddie Crawford, who's a member of the Red Hugh O'Donnell Lifford Committee. A very good morning to you, Eddie. Thanks for joining us. I think you're muted there, Eddie. If you just knock that off for us, perhaps, are you? Right, no, I can't quite hear Eddie. I'll tell you, Eddie, I might bring you back in again if that's all right. We're having a little bit of difficulty there. 086 60 25,000, that is the text line. Or call 07491 25,000. Hi, Greg. Couldn't agree more with your comment on about salary increases of 81,000. This is disgraceful when we have our young on less than half that and paying well over 1,000 a month on rents. There's far too much a gap developing between the rich and the poor, and it's about time government took a look at this when they're increasing their salaries. Let's see if we can hear Eddie now. Can you hear me, Eddie? No, we can't hear Eddie there. No, it's a slight technical issue. We'll get back to Eddie in a moment. It's often said we learn from example. The domestic violence has to stop, or many children will learn from it. This example, indeed. Yep, there's a point there. It's amazing how this government can give themselves thousands of a pay rise but can't fix the Micah situation. What does this tell all the people? I think that's... people might have a legitimate concern there, indeed. Who in the heck is saying inviting the Russians to Killybegs to chip away at Putin? Vladimir Putin will be softened by an evening in Hughie's. Really? They ask. Well, it's a suggestion. For God's sake, inviting the Russians to Killybegs, we don't have any pawns, Greg. The EU doesn't care what happens off the Irish coast. So they made it a free-for-all and basically banned our fishing fleet from fishing. The Russians will cut off the gas if Europe tries anything. And see, that's a lot of what is going on. A lot of backwards and forwards, toing and froing. Now, I just want to mention this study here that was put in front of me, and it claims that the class clown may be the most intelligent in the classroom. We all remember the class clown. Some of us were indeed that class clown. Well, we all know a class clown who was always cracking jokes during the class. Well, they might be having the last laugh. A new study suggests that the funniest person in the classroom might just be the most intelligent. Researchers report children with higher than average levels of general knowledge and verbal reasoning tend to excel at humour. When researchers compared intelligence and humour performance, a clear pattern emerged. However, they also found that this isn't necessarily true for adults. The study found children with both higher general knowledge and higher verbal reasoning to be funnier than their peers. The researchers said that parents should be aware that if their children frequently make good quality humour, it's highly likely that they have extraordinary intelligence. But sure, look, there was nothing. I've never read anything to suggest that the person who was the class clown, in inverted commas, was any less intelligent than anyone else. Right, now, a couple more of your comments here. This caller says, I'm forwarding you the following letter that a general practice nurse colleague has sent to the Minister for Health. This is being forwarded to you with her permission. I wish to bring your attention to how utterly let down we as general practice nurses feel in recent days with regards to not being seen by the government as frontline healthcare workers in receiving the €1,000 pandemic bonus, it's being called. Now, the letter reads, I'm a general practice nurse. I'd like to enlighten you. This is to the Minister. I'd like to enlighten you on the GPN's contribution during the pandemic. For context, general practice nurses with GMS patients are half employed by the GP and half by the HSE. Half our salaries paid by the HSE. This is because we are the main providers of free government-provided GP care, Sláinte care. They say we are the foundation of general practice in Ireland. There are many misconceptions about practice nursing. To fill you in, we are the chief vaccinators in the country and the backbone of health screening and health promotion in Ireland. We spend our days doing cancer screening, blood tests, chronic disease management, diagnostics, wound care, triage, health promotion, administration of medications and antenatal care, education, family planning, amongst a huge list of other responsibilities. And they go on to make a very strong argument to say that they should be included in that €1,000 pandemic bonus. And lots of people have contacted us saying the exact same thing. All right, back with our next guest after these.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union. Multiple loan payments causing you stress? Why not talk to Letterkenny Credit Union today about a debt consolidation loan?
At Cherrymore Kitchens and Bedrooms, Donegal Town, their sale is now on. New 2020 Guaranteed all year round at Tinny's Toys.
After government subsidies. Book a test
limited as well.
Tomorrow.
On to it now. Eddie Crawford, member of the Red Hugh O'Donnell
Line for express delivery at tinnystoys.com. Tinny's Toys, with so much more than just farm toys.
Driving a Fiat 500e is choosing an all-new, all-electric car with an impressive range and not to 80% fast charging in 30 minutes. It's choosing a car that's so full of tech it will confidently and safely drive you into the next decade. It's choosing to believe in a better tomorrow. Welcome back, future. Fiat 500e prices start at €24,995 after government subsidies. Book a test drive at Joseph Doherty Limited, Moville, or visit fiat.ie.
And you're very welcome back to the programme. Right, we can welcome on to it now Eddie Crawford, member of the Red Hugh O'Donnell Lifford Committee. Thanks very much for joining us. Sorry for the slight technical issue there, but very good morning to you. How are you keeping?
Keeping well, Greg, and thanks for inviting me on.
No problem. I'm very interested to find out why, and why not, but there's very good reason, that we would consider linking or twinning or improving connections between part of Donegal with Valladolid in Spain. Is that the correct pronunciation?
Well, from my Spanish is limited as well, but yeah, you pronounce it Valladolid.
Okay, well, we'll go with that. Right, so what are the connections?
Well, a lot of people don't know. They know about the current search that's taken place in Valladolid for the remains of Red Hugh O'Donnell, but quite a number of people, even around the area here, don't know that Red Hugh O'Donnell was actually born in East Donegal. He was born on the banks of the River Foyle, would you believe, between the townlands of Port Hall and St Johnstone, and a place called Mungavlin Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Mungavlin Castle is still standing yet, and it's one of our wishes that the County Council, prevented from any further deterioration, because this is a great historical site. It's a site where the then, back in the 16th century, Hugh O'Donnell married Fionnuala MacDonald of the famous Scottish MacDonald clan. And whenever they got married, they took up residence in Mungavlin Castle, and that's where they had their son, Red Hugh O'Donnell. Mm-hmm. Now, whenever Fionnuala, she was commonly known as Aoineann Dhu, but whenever she came to live there, she took with her, she had thousands of troops at her disposal, and she took 100 of her toughest and toughest warriors that she could find, and out of that 100, there was 80 of them Crawfords. So that's why there's so big of a Crawford name in the Port Hall St Johnstone area, derived from that.
That's fascinating. And so what did you actually propose at the council meeting? Well, or it was a presentation as such, but what were the key points of it, Eddie?
Yeah, well, myself and the current president of the Hispano-Irish Association, Carlos Burgos, who may be on with you now.
He is indeed. He'll be joining us shortly.
Yeah. Well, we gave a presentation in that, or the three aims that we have is again just to get finance from the council to prevent the castle from any further deterioration. We would like to get a statue of Red Hugh erected in the Diamond in Lifford, which is the seat of power for centuries, and indeed a place where Red Hugh would have worked out of for a long part of his life in Lifford Castle, and to twin the area of Lifford's northern municipal area with an area within Valladolid. Valladolid is a massive, massive area, and it's the ancient capital of Spain. So myself and Carlos is doing a lot of work on that between us to try and get the two areas together. And we're also, we'll be working with schools shortly. We'll be going to talk to the students in the local national schools, secondary schools, and get them in contact with one another as well. And then let it develop from then on into, it's a massive tourist boost opportunity for both areas.
All right, let's introduce Carlos Burgos. Good morning, Carlos. Thank you very much for joining us. As Eddie mentioned, you're president of the Hispano-Irish Association. Tell us from your perspective, Red Hugh's connection and also efforts ongoing to locate his remains.
Well, from last year, well, first of all, I would like to send a warm hello from Valladolid to all the Donegal area people that we appreciate a lot, all that people, because we feel very close to all the Irish people. That's the first thing I would like to say. And after that, the efforts that Valladolid City Council is doing about the 1 year ago when they started to do the dig to try to find the remains of Red Hugh Donnell. It was a very, very important thing to start that. And before that, it was 10, 15 years before was also the City Hall tried to do another effort. But the moment now is that this year is very important. The 22, there is a lot of actions and events in this project. Try to promote the image of Red Hugh O'Donnell, and also one that is really important, that to promote the relations between Spain and Ireland. And as Red Hugh was born in your area in Donegal, in Lifford, for us it's very important to know where he was born, to try to approach to that area, to try to know where he was born, where he was living, the normal things that you want to know when a figure appears in your life and you a historic figure, and you try to know something about him. And the people is very attracted to that here, because people in Castile were, well, in all Spain, Castile is the area of us, they were very attracted about an epic life that appeared in a horrible moment. The COVID was starting at that time, and then this was like a good piece of news that appeared in that moment. But after that moment, what is continuing now is that everything in Valladolid, in my city, as Eddie has just said, Valladolid was the capital of Spain at that time when Red Hugh was here. And that's why he came here to Valladolid, because the king was living here, the king of Spain and the king of the empire, the Spanish empire, was living here in Valladolid. The people here is trying to live everything now connected with Ireland. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is are big words, but for example, in this 22, the international festival that we have in Valladolid is the second one in Spain after the San Sebastian one. The cinema festival is going to promote Irish cinemas. Ireland is going to be the country that is going to be focused in October in that festival. Mm-hmm. And last October here was Irish films on it. And we have been there and to meet them. And also yesterday we had the meeting in the City Hall. The book fair that is in June is going to be dedicated also to Ireland. So all the rest of the events, for example, the statue that is going to be a twin statue in Valladolid, and mm-hmm. another one it's possible to be in Lifford, and to try to recover that castle, the Mogollon Castle,
Yes, and we'll talk a bit more about that. And I don't want to wish to sort of distract from the important connections between the two and the Red Hugh connection. But I mean, outside of that, presumably there'd be benefits for both areas in twinning. You know, obviously the reason for it is our historical connections, but you know, these type of twinnings also, you know, benefit other areas. You know, the economies, visiting, you know, shared culture or exchanging of information. You know, this could be of benefit to both areas beyond, obviously, the very, very important and crucial Red Hugh connection.
Of course, always we need something that starts the relations or that starts the promotion. Mm-hmm. In this moment has been Red Hugh, the one that the remains of Red Hugh and the burial place is the one that has started this situation, because the historical relations has been for 500 years, even more than that. But now is a very important moment. And it's not because Eddie or me or the Valladolid City Hall says that. No, it's strange that all the press, all the media, all around the world was very focused at that moment mm-hmm. when the dig was on. Mm-hmm. The New York Times never has been talking about Valladolid, well, or very few times.
Yes.
But to be so focused in this is because it's important for a lot of people all around the world.
All right.
So that's the opportunity.
Yeah, okay. Exciting stuff, potentially, Carlos. Eddie, finally, in the last minute or so, Carlos mentioned the erection of a statue of Red Hugh O'Donnell in the diamond. That would be part of this sort of three-pronged process, the preservation of Mongalvlin Castle, the twinning of the two areas, as we've been discussing, the erection of a statue close to where Carlos is, but also, obviously, in Lifford. Do you see this coming to pass? Do you think things will move forward, Eddie?
Well, going by the meeting that we had with the local councillors there last Monday, we had a Zoom meeting with them, and the Zoom meeting was only supposed to last for about 15 minutes, but it went on for about 50 minutes. So much was the interest that they showed in it. They were very, very enthusiastic about the whole lot. And, you know, the likes, when you're talking about the statue in Lifford, I'm sure you know, Greg, that, do you know, just short of Boyle there down County Roscommon, the big Gaelic chieftain up on the hill to the left sitting on the horse? Well, a lot of people don't know that's actually Red Hugh O'Donnell. There you go. The sculpture of Red Hugh O'Donnell and his victory over the English at the Battle of the Curlews. And right. I mean, we have this great chieftain in our area here, born in our area, and we have nothing really to show about it, and we should be promoting that, not just for historical purposes, but as yourself and Carlos was talking about the potential of the tourism. We have a natural Red Hugh O'Donnell way here, or a pilgrimage, or whatever you want to call it. You know, you have the likes of Mongalvlin Castle. Yeah. You have Rathmullen, where he was abducted by the English and taken to the Dublin Castle and imprisoned there for 5 years. You have the Doe Castle, the McSweeney's, who was fostering Red Hugh at the time. It was natural for...
It's all there. It's just a case of capitalising on it.
It's just promoting that whole area.
Well, listen, Carlos and Eddie, unfortunately I have to head for the news at 10. It's been very interesting, and we'll talk again into the future. Keep us on board with how things progress. Thank you both very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, lovely to chat to you. Thank you very much indeed.